Uh, Hello and welcome to Kids Force Us to War.
War to war! Oi oi, I'm Ski Nerd, that is,
Derp.
and we are reviewing the next phase in One Piece. This is season 4, right? Still that we're on?
Yep.
Cool.
And we might eventually be joined by Mulcat and I forget what did Mike tell him last on Tuesday.
He said just use elusive.
Elusive Mike.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
And apparently
Shut up,
my
Alexa.
Alexa doesn't know Elusive Mike. And before we start, hit that like, subscribe, comment. Give us some ideas on what to do, and also give us some ideas for our podcast that we just started on Tuesday. I personally think it went well for a first one. We are currently at 33,368 subscribers. I think that's gone down since the last time I looked.
Yeah. You gotta put out better content, that's all that means. I'm really objective.
Don't let that go down too far, because this guy will make us no longer do this crap.
Yep. Okay. Anyways,
Excuse me.
let's get into it, shall we? Yes, great, grand, wonderful. That's what you're here for. Or not. I don't care. You're making us do this and then you're not even watching? God, you guys are horrible. You guys are terrible. Deserve to. I don't know.
You deserve
Eat boogers
to
for breakfast.
be forced to watch One Piece with us.
No, they're watching us suffer. That's the enjoyment. They're watching me suffer.
You're forced to watch. Trying to think of another series that's about as long. Detective Conan Case Closed.
I guess so.
That's even longer than One Piece.
Boo.
It's also subjectively better than One Piece, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know. Okay, alright, let's get into it. So we left off with everybody coming into
Alabarna, yep.
which is in the island of Alabasta. It's the capital. It's where the palace is. Everybody's coming there. Some from the south, some from the west. And starts off with Baroque Works attacking the ducks that everybody's riding. The crew is on the ducks and they're coming in. And there's a lot of back and forth. And there is a cool map that appears on the screen, which shows all the gates. There are 5 gates. There's an east gate, a west gate, south gate, and then there's also a southwest and a southeast gate. So they're all like in a smiley face formation. There's none at the top, just in the smiley face. And all the Alabasta warriors are there, and they're trying to guard these gates, and they're not really gates per se. They're more like giant staircases, very very steep staircases. Anyway, so that was really cool, and so all the ducks kind of split off. They're trying to confuse the Baroque Works people because um, Princess Vivi's plan is to um, notify the rebels that are coming in from the south. And no, you have Mr. Two. No, not Mr. Two. I think it was like number 4 was there, and was it number? Is number 5 still alive? No, they're not there anymore. Anyways, they're getting attacked by Baroque Works people, and they're splitting off, going to different locations. So they're splitting off the Baroque Works. They don't know which one is Vivi because that's who they're trying to stop. And they're all like wearing disguises. So it's just like, oh my God, which one's Princess Vivi? We don't know. So they're all going in different directions. Anyways, oh right. So Princess Vivi makes it to the south, and she's standing in front of where the gate is, and you see all these rebels coming, and they're on horses, and they're coming super fast, and right before they're in visual range, there's a Baroque works person in disguise as a guard, and they have all the cannons up on the ramparts, and one of them fires a cannonball, and it causes a dust cloud. So now the rebels can't see Vivi, and so basically all the rebels run right through her. She somehow doesn't die. She kept rolling 20s on her reflex saves, and somehow she survived it, and she failed in her mission to notify the rebels to, hey, we know what the enemy is, kind of thing. And they go past her, and she's crying and not having a good time. And then I believe it's Usopp on horseback. He's just like, hey, we need to get back to the thing. Don't worry about your duck thing or bird. Yeah, let's get back to the others. And she's just like, wait a minute. Hey, take off your. Because she noticed that Usopp would always name the bird, which is Karoo, and we find out in like 2 seconds that it's Mr. Two, and we found out the meaning of the band. It had 2 meanings. One was the band to show that, hey, this is who we really are, and the second one was they put an X underneath it to make double sure that it was the right person. But she finds out it's Mr. Two, and they start like fighting a little bit, and she gets away somehow. I don't remember how she gets away. Do you remember? Oh, I remember. Yeah, they're fighting and fighting and fighting, and Karoo is hurt, but Karoo takes Princess Vivi straight up the cliffs. That's what it was, and Karoo is climbing. He's climbing, even though he's hurt. He's climbing, makes it all the way to the top, and of course, Mr. Two is able to run up the cliffs as well. Explain that? I don't know if you can, or maybe you can't. I think you're blocking me.
Oh, sorry.
There it is. All right, cool. I didn't even know I wasn't even on camera. Wow, that's amazing. Anyways, you got the cliff
that's
and the
the issue
Karoo,
with
and the crew getting shot. The crew got shot.
doing that too, because I point the camera down to what I'm making.
It's all good. Let's see. It's 4 and oh, that's right. We get to the Mr. 4 and Miss Merry Christmas.
Which, to be honest, her name should have been Groundhog's Day.
It's a much better holiday and a much better movie.
And it makes a lot
Suck
more
at
sense
Christmas.
because of her power.
Yeah, exactly what he said. What's her power again? No, I remember. So we got Mr. 4 and Miss Merry Christmas versus Chopper and Usopp. Hooray! And this is a fun battle. It's not a very serious battle, but it's a fun battle.
To be honest,
watching Usopp.
Until much later, any battle involving Usopp is not serious. Till later, because then he starts being more serious.
Yeah, they get baseball. They're basically what's happening is baseballs are being thrown.
My shoulder's hurting.
Okay. I got the blue thing if you want it.
No, I may have to just lay down for a few minutes, but you can keep going. But I'll try just standing for a few.
Okay. All right. So we got
That's
during the battle.
ushering.
What?
Because my shoulder starts hurting like this after ushering.
Oh, okay. Anyways, during the battle, there's a bunch of baseballs being thrown, and what happens is Mr. 4 has this super heavy bat, and he's able to swing them at Chopper and Usopp, and these baseballs explode. And Mrs. Merry Christmas is like, it looks like she's throwing the baseballs. However, let's see.
Keep going, I'm just grabbing water.
Yeah. Oh, however, we learn that Mr. 4's dog is actually a gun. Where is it? Mr. 4, Miss Merry Christmas. Lasso, Mr. 1. Hey, hold on, guys. Did I write that down? Oh, there it is. So Lasso, Mr. 4's dog, we learned is actually took the Mut fruit, and it is a special kind of fruit called the Dashrund, and it basically makes inanimate objects living, which is crazy. And so this baseball gun, or this dog gun named Lasso, fires baseballs that explode. So make that make sense. My brain hurts just thinking about that.
It's a series where a guy can whose body is like rubber. Do you expect it to make any sense?
No, but I love the creativity in it. That's what I'm saying. I can never come up with something like that. I'm too logical. And I'm like, oh, well, it would make sense. Well, not that. And then, oh yeah, right. And then Usopp is like, hey, let's play some, what do they call that? Whack-a-mole. Because we learned that Miss Merry Christmas is basically going underground and acts like a mole. And goes, bloop, bloop, bloop. So he takes out this 5-ton hammer and whacks Mr. 4 on the head. And by the way, Mr. 4, right before, like during the battle, right before the battle, Miss Merry Christmas literally calls him the R word in the Japanese. Yeah, he is very, very slow, and so Usopp has this 5-ton hammer, and Miss Merry Christmas is like, oh my God, you're that strong? You can carry a 5-ton hammer? Oh my God. We learn later that Mr. Four's bat is actually 4 tons. So he's a very strong individual, very slow. And he hits
He
hits
put
one on
all
the
of
head,
his,
and
he
he,
put
he's
of
out.
all of
He's
his
down for the count.
he put all of his points in strength and zero, and he rolled a nat one on for intelligence.
Yeah, he doesn't have any intelligence at all. Well, I mean, it was like
Maybe
three.
like a 2 or 3, but
Yeah, he can
speak.
he can speak, but he speaks slowly. Probably intelligence of 4. Like anyway, I don't want to get into that. Anyways, so he has this 5-ton hammer, and he's going around trying to whack-a-mole Miss Merry Christmas, and all of a sudden, like, it pops, and she's like, "Wait a minute, that wasn't real," and Chopper thinks it's real too, and he's like, yeah, I just put 2 frying pans together and put air in between them, or a structure in between them, and yeah, that's it. And so this works for a second, because Miss Merry Christmas gets very intimidated by this, and she's very scared. And now that her partner is out for the count, and like 5 seconds after he gets hit, Mr. Ford starts moving again. He's like, oh, and she's like, oh my God, your reaction is so freaking slow. Wait, what was that? Make my dad look the other way.
I had
It's one of those funny where the editor is just like, oh, maybe it looks like this. Okay.
yeah, James Friedman. It's always the same guy.
Oh, okay.
I continue.
Oh, sorry. So that kind of intimidation is really cool. Then Chopper uses his rumble ball, so now he's like better at everything, and he tries to analyze, the battlefield and stuff like that.
Took me a second to realize
And then
what was different.
Miss Merry Christmas says that Luffy is dead, and that Crocodile killed him, and that's the information that they have. And Usopp is still standing, and he was like intimidated by that at first, but then he finds some courage, and he's still able to fight even though he's about to die, and his captain's dead. And he's like, wait a minute, my captain's not dead. And they find a way to win. But Chopper figures it out. Chopper figures out how the baseballs work, and they're able to turn the tables on them and basically knock. I think they knock Miss Merry Christmas into Mr. Four. I think that's what it was. Do you remember? If you don't remember, that's fine. A lot of the details are eluding me, which is probably for the best. Anyways, Usopp and Chopper win. That's like, yay! And then after like this battle, it just stamps in Japanese like what is happening, and unfortunately that it's not translated. I think they translate one of them, but you just don't know what it says. You kind of have to assume like, okay, this is what happened in the battle, blah blah blah. If it was funny or something, we don't know. All right, what happened next? Vivi's next option is to destroy the palace, and her logic is if we destroy the palace, everybody will look up here and stop fighting. And so they're like, all right, I guess we'll destroy this 4,000-year-old palace. And yeah, those things are really annoying. I gotta stop looking.
Sorry.
And feel free to chime in too. Feel free. All right, so Vivi wants to destroy the palace, and all the guards are like, "Wait, we're gonna destroy the palace? Oh my God, that's such a bad idea. Oh wait, Vivi told us to. Okay, I guess we'll do it." And then they're about to do it, and but it cuts to Sanji, and we learned, and Sanji's weakness comes for him. he's facing off against Mr. 2, and Mr. 2 can transform, and every time he transforms into Nami, he turns into a giant simp. And he's just like, oh, I can't attack a girl, I can't do that. So Sanji's like losing against Mr. 2, which he shouldn't, but he is. So yeah, let's see. Oh, and then we think that Usopp is dead because he put everything into like one final shot, and he got bashed in the face by Mr. Four's hammer right before they defeated him, which is crazy to think about. And then we have a fight of Zoro versus Mr. 1, and we find that Mr. 1 has a cool fruit power. His is the Dice fruit. He can turn his body into blades. He did lasso, did Miss Merry Christmas, she had a Zoan fruit, and she took the Mole fruit. Forgot to mention that. She's a mole.
Which I commented that her name would have better fit Groundhog's Day. It's closer to a mole than a reindeer is.
Yeah, but I think what it does is it throws you off to what her power is. Because if you say Groundhog's Day, then it would be like, oh, well, X amount of episodes before. But no, I like the idea.
She looks like a mole before she even transforms.
Yeah. No, you're right. But I'm just saying maybe the thought of the person who wrote it, I forget his name or whatever. He was just like
Oda.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I want to throw off my audience. I don't want them to figure out what her powers are, not yet. Make them guess, kind of thing. That would have been that's my thing. But yes, Groundhog Day would have been a lot better. Maybe in Japan they don't know about Groundhog Day as much. All right. Let's see. Oh, and then Sanji wins. He beats Mr. 2 by like basically looking away, and he's able to defeat. He doesn't kill Mr. 2, and it ends in the prize's camaraderie, and they realize they both have a lot, like, stuff in common. Like they both have like amazing kicks, and they're like.
And they both value the power in Nakama.
Of the what?
Nakama. It's
the Kama.
It's like companions, or in Japanese, Nakama.
Oh, okay.
Akama.
Oh.
I learned that because of One Piece.
Oh, that's nice. All right.
At least I think that's the correct term. And sorry, Jet, my back is hurting. That's why I'm talking while I'm laying down.
I've been there. Let's see. So Sanji wins, and then it does the what do they call it? The typewriter thing, and it actually says what it actually translates it, which is nice. Now Vivi's plan to destroy the palace, that is disrupted by Mr. Zero, aka Crocodile, because he comes and arrives, and he stops all the bombs from exploding all at the same time before they can light it. Just before. Man, what a thing, huh?
What a gentleman.
So now they're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And he's just like, ha ha ha, you can't win. No, you're gonna try this, try that, try this, try that, and nothing's gonna work. Trust me. You're stupid. You're a stupid little girl. All right. Then we have Nami's fight, and what happened is Mr. 1 and what's her name?
Miss Doublefinger.
Miss Doublefinger are just like kind of walking towards Zoro and Nami, and they're Zoro's about to fight him. He's like, I will fight you both. I will protect my comrade. And they just kind of, casually just walk past him, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to go after the weaker one. Yeah, it's a lot easier that way. So Zoro takes on number 1.
Assassin 101.
Yep. He's the Mr. Assassin guy.
No, I meant, because just assassin, lesson,
Oh, the strategy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they're really
Always
smart.
go for the weakest.
And even though Zoro told Nami to hide, well, of course she didn't do that. So, I guess you're gonna die. And when you get saved, you're not gonna be appreciative of it. Guaranteed it. Guarantee. Um, so Nami has to face Miss Doublefinger, and Miss Doublefinger's like, "This is gonna be really easy. Like, you don't have any power, so I'm just gonna take you out." And Nami pulls out her new weapon, the one that Usopp made.
Climb attack.
Yeah, climb attacked. TAKT, which is a strange word, but whatever. And then it cuts back to Crocodile, and he's asking the King, or Cobra, King Cobra.
Better than Commander Cobra.
Yep. He asks him about Pluton, and the King reacts like, "Pluton? How do you know about Pluton?" And we learn that Pluton is a massive weapon that was used thousands of years ago, and you find out that his Crocodile's plan is to use that to like have a base of operations at the island and try to take more territory and stuff by using that weapon.
Essentially, Pluton is like a nuclear weapon.
It's an ancient weapon that could take out. They said it could take out whole islands, right?
Yeah, but modern day, like our world, it's basically like a nuclear weapon.
It's like a nuclear weapon.
And I don't think at that point it mentioned that there's more than just Pluton. Because they just kind of.
That's just the word that they used. They're like, "We're looking for Pluton." Pretty much, and the King was like, "Oh," and then they're like, they crucify him. They slam him against the wall, and they put like giant metal pins into his shoulders so he can't move or anything. So that sucks. And then he mentions like, "Hey, even if you stop these guys, stop them from fighting, like in about a half an hour, there's a bomb that's gonna go off, which is a 5-kilometer bomb in diameter. And if you guys don't know that, that's 3.1 miles, which is a very, very big bomb for the technology that these guys have. So that's scary. And then we are informed of a poneglyph, and apparently the poneglyph has information that shows where the Pluton is. And the King is like, "Yeah, I'll show you where the poneglyph is."
Poneglyph.
Poneglyph is.
Big difference.
What did I say?
Graph.
Oh. Poneglyph. Whoops.
Because a glyph is like a writing, a graph is lines.
Y to the sky. Poneglyph.
I can just imagine if anybody's watching, just wondering why I'm going like this.
Yeah. What's her name? Nicole? No.
Nico Robin.
Nico Robin. We learned her name, Nico Robin, or Miss All Sunday.
I think I can try to sit again for a little bit.
Okay. All right. And she's like, "Yeah, you're gonna take me to the poneglyph," and she forces the King Cobra. What does it say?
Mike is in the chat. Sorry, Mike, I was laying down. Come on Discord if you're able to now.
Throw hands. It's a big boom boom. Yeah, come on Discord. Chat with us.
You wanted to talk One Piece?
I'm tickled bling. That blings are blowsy. Hey.
Who's living?
He's living? What?
I don't know.
He's living.
There's a 30-second delay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. We want this, and we want.
Okay, I'm here.
I saw you were playing Tekken.
I was helping a buddy rank up, or well, train for a tournament coming up.
And sorry, I was laying down on the bed and I didn't see your message till I don't
No
know.
worries, no worries at all. Yeah, the Pluton is basically the atomic bomb of cannon fire.
Yeah. Very scary stuff. An
It's
ancient
a big
weapon.
old room.
Yep. Who wants to blow up an island? I do. What island should we destroy? Anyone you want. All right.
Alderaan?
Elderon. Yep, exactly. All right, so we talked about the poneglyph, and Nico Robin starts taking King Cobra down to where the poneglyph is. Let's see. Oh, right. Then we get back to the Nami fight. So she has this new weapon, and it's basically like a weather weapon. So she has like fireballs, cooling balls, and lightning balls, and she has to like use them in different combinations to do different attacks. However, it's funny when she first uses it. It's nothing but party tricks, and she's like literally like reading the directions as she's fighting Miss Doublefinger, and you're like, I'm watching this, I'm going, yeah, Nami, you kind of deserve to lose right now. I know you're the underdog here, and you can fight. She can fight with the stick because we've seen her fight with the stick before. But this is more like a metal tube. This Clima-Tact, and eventually she's able to figure it out, and she's attacked by these different spikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then he literally goes, he just like godlike with that weapon later on.
I bet she does. But in this first fight with her, she's told like use the tornado tempo as a last resort, and if you miss, you're gonna lose. And so she's able to get Miss Doublefinger really close, and she's like, and it's funny like the whole time, every time she does like a new thing, it's a party trick. So as the fight goes on, Miss Doublefinger just isn't defensive anymore. So because her defenses go down, and the tornado, she's able to do the tornado tempo without Nico Robin even caring. Like a couple birds on springs come out and just twist around her arms, and she's like looking at this like what are you doing? Like I'm gonna freaking kill you now. You're annoying. She's about to kill Nami, and all of a sudden, like it works, and it spins her around and into a tornado, and it defeats Miss Doublefinger, and you're like, oh my god, Usopp actually made a weapon. A weapon that actually works. So Nami wins.
Like I said earlier, he gets a lot better later on.
Yep, he does.
Black Star shoot.
Exactly.
He's a late bloomer, very late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you can call yourself.
So, we got, then what happens next? It's Zoro versus Mr. One. And this is a cool, like, character building, for Zoro. And we learn a little bit more about what his relationship with his master is. And he was asking his master when he was a kid. He's like, I want to cut everything. He's just like, I want to be able to cut nothing, but then cut anything. That was the logic there. And he's like, be wary of the person who can cut anything. You want to be able to cut nothing and everything at the same time. And he was contemplating that, and basically Zoro is getting his ass kicked because this guy is literally made out of steel blades, and his goal is like, in order for me to win, I need to be able to cut steel. And he gets something. He gets attacked, and all these rocks fall on him, and somehow miraculously, it's like he hits instant instinct or something like that. It's like an out of body experience, kind of like a meditation thing, or like if you're playing a video game, and all of a sudden you're just like beating levels left and right. You're just in the groove of being able to defeat a certain area without taking any hits, without dying once. You're just in the zone basically, and that's what happens to Zoro. And so miraculously he gets cut in the front, and he's hurting bad, and then rocks fall on him, and he's able to dash or get around them. But he's Zoro, and he's the most resilient fighter ever, and he thinks back to what his master said, like, I'm cut nothing, but then cut anything. And then he gets the idea of I think it's what is it? Swordplay that cuts nothing. Oh, rhythm. That's what it is. He gets the rhythm of different things.
Rhythm.
Yeah, and he gets the rhythm of steel, and he's thinking about steel, and he tries to cut a fern, but it doesn't cut, and it goes against what he thought being a swordsman was, and he's just like, oh, this is a different thing, and he's like out of body, and he does one more. Him and Mr. One do one more. All right, let's go at each other, see who wins, and he's able to cut Mr. One and survive. And he's like, wow, I was able to cut steel. Well, that's kind of cool. So basically, Zoro's limit was pushed, and he realized this is a way to go beyond where he was already at with his training. So it's a growing moment for him. So he cuts steel, he wins, which is cool. Let's see. Kicking Claw. Oh, then we're introduced to the Kicking Claw Force, which is 4 mighty warriors of Alabastia, and they come to defeat Crocodile. And Vivi's like, no, don't. You can't win against him. But they already drank this, what is it? It was like a water or something like that. Like I forget what the word is. Did I write it down? I don't think I did.
I remember that I called it the jungle juice.
The jungle juice. It basically kills them in like 5 minutes, but their power increases. We'll call it the jungle juice. Jungle juice. And Vivi and the king realize, oh crap, they're already dead. They're gonna try their hardest against Crocodile, but they're not gonna do anything because he can turn into sand and can't hit him. Let's see. And then Koza also makes it to the palace, and he was shot like a day ago. And he makes it to the palace, and he realizes that, Vivi. He talks to Vivi, and their plan is to both go out and stop everyone, have them like raise the white flag and stop everyone from fighting, so they can look at the Baroque, go after the Baroque works people. Let's see. So that's exactly what happens. They start raising the white flags, and they're like, "Hey, stop fighting. We know who the real enemy is." And then, of course, some dickwad that works for the Baroque works, who's in the Alabastia Guard, like fires a shot of like from a cannon, or I forget what it was. It was either a cannon or a spear or something, and then they shoot, and at the same time, Crocodile sends up a gust of wind to separate the two armies so they can't see or hear as well. And because of that one attack, they start fighting again, and they're like, "No, don't fight. No, this isn't a good thing. We can't have you fight." And then Vivi's talking to Crocodile, and Crocodile's like, "Ha ha ha! You can't do anything. You try to do this, you think you'll save them. You try to do this, you think you'll save them. You can't save them." and the whole time they're thinking about, okay, we've got 30 minutes before this thing goes off, before it attacks everyone. Oh,
That's
Koza
the
was
drug out for you, master manipulator.
So Kozo got shot again. I think that was the thing that happened. He got shot like 6 times. It's like, okay, you got shot a total like 7 times now. You're gonna be dead. All right, please be dead. Okay, well he's Koza, so. Anyways, Baroque Works does that, and then everybody's like, oh my god, we need to do things. And then Luffy appears. He's flying, and Pell brings him from the Rain Palace. I think that's what it's called.
Rain base.
Rain Base, or the casino if you don't know, to
Barna.
Barna. And he's there. He's like, "Yay, Luffy's here. He's gonna defeat Crocodile. He's the only one who can." And Luffy figures out that he can actually hit Crocodile if he puts water in it. You learn Crocodile's weakness. He's weak against water, which is why Crocodile doesn't want to be surrounded by water. Which is also ironic because they call it's Rain Base.
It's surrounded by water.
And it's surrounded by water in there, but everywhere else is super dry. So we learned that his weakness is water. So it's just like, yeah, now Luffy has the upper hand. You can attack him with the water. Oh yeah. So then there's a search for the bomb. Everybody, the rest of the crew and everybody else is like, screw it. We're gonna search for this bomb before it goes off. We need to find it, figure out where it is. So everybody's scrambling, and Luffy and Crocodile are fighting. This is where we get the Gumu Gumu Saw Blade and the Gumu Gumu Shotgun. The Gumu Gumu Shotgun is great because
it's probably one of my favorite attacks he ever does.
Yeah.
So the first time he does it.
So when he's doing his pistol thing, it can go past someone and it has to come back, and Crocodile can like catch that, and he can do some serious damage. Like if he drains his arm of liquid, that's not good. So he has to figure out a way, and on the fly he improvises. Oh, let's do this. He does the pistol and just like wobbles it around so he can't touch his arm, and he's like, oh, shotgun. It's so cool. Oh my god.
That's like one of my favorite moments in almost the entire anime.
Yeah.
That's so far.
That was really good.
Maybe top 10 for me.
You can't hit something that's moving all over the place. Whoa. I hope he uses that a lot, because that's really cool.
Spaghetti fingers. That's crazy.
Yeah, then I'm gonna catch you in my net of fingers. Oh no, you're made of sand. I can't do it. Anyways, so Nico Robin takes Cobra and heads to the Poneglyph, and this is where we see Tashigi, and the Marines are there, and they see Nico Robin taking Cobra, and they're like, stop right there, you can't go any further. And she's like, I don't have time for this. It's like, you either let me pass or I'm gonna have to like kill you guys. And they're like, no, you need to stop. And so she does her power, and the arm power, the flower fruit, and she chokes out a lot of the Marines, and basically puts Tashigi on her deathbed because she can't move by the time she's done with her. And so they just go on walking normally, and we learn about Nico Robin's bounty, and about how like 20 years ago she attacked a ship or something like that, which killed a lot of people, and ever since then there's been a bounty on her. I can't remember what the bounty number was. Oh right, it was like 70 million. That's right, because she was with Crocodile. 70 million berries for thing. Anyways, so yep, we got a Then we got a Nico Robin flashback, flashing back to the point when she was like 8 years old or whatever, and doing something on a ship that she probably shouldn't have been doing and killed all these people. Anyways, so we see a dry Luffy because Crocodile gets the best of him and basically sucks all the water out of him and leaves him to die. However, Luffy's also very lucky, and so all the water he had like inside of him, he spit it directly upward, a large portion, and it came down on him right after Crocodile left to go after the Poneglyph. And so Luffy gets revived. He's just like, oh man, I'm alive again. It's just like, wow, you survived Crocodile twice. How is this a thing? So that was cool, even though he's really lucky. Nico Robin reads the Poneglyph, and
Can you see that crocodile doesn't break the rubber?
What's that?
Crocodile doesn't break the rubber?
No, he should have done that. What an idiot. But Crocodile is way too overconfident. He thinks he knows like everything, every step of the way, which is why he's so easy to, like, if you deceive him once, his plans get thrown off. But he's very thorough in his work. So, anyways, so she's reading the Poneglyph, and Crocodile comes down there too. And it's just like, oh, hey, you're reading the Poneglyph. What does it say? And she's like, well, you'll be disappointed. I want you to read to me. And she reads off a bunch of like, in 324, this king reigned. And in 378, this king reigned. And it was just like a historical event. And she's like, it doesn't mention the what is it called? The Pluton? And she's like, no, it doesn't. And he's like, all right, well, we had a deal, and you said you'd show me where the Pluton is, and I'm gonna kill you now. Cool. That was a fun time we had together, but now you're gonna die. Shocker. Yeah, shocker. Him turning on his first partner. And I think this is where I wrote. No, I didn't write that. So this is where his philosophy is, you can't trust other people, so just screw them over and like take everything, as opposed to Luffy's philosophy, which is trust in others and they'll get your back. And he just like, Vivi is disgusted by his plan to destroy it with the 5K bomb, to destroy everyone there, including the Baroque Works people. So he's just screwing over literally everyone, and everyone believes that the system is made up where, only the cream rises to the top. So if you can off someone above you, and then you'll get a better rank in this new society that's gonna happen. But I don't think Crocodile ever planned to leave anyone alive at this rate. Anyways.
Crocodile would kill everybody if he could.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He literally trusts no one, not even himself. Oops, excuse me. My bad. Anyway, so Cobra does a self-destruct, and Vivi finds the bomb location. She's just like, oh my god, what? She's like thinking through her head, and this is like some of the best parts. Because she does the flare. She sends the red flare up as everybody's searching, and it brings everyone there, including Baroque Works. But like all this is happening in minutes, and it's just like, oh, they have literally 3 minutes to find this bomb, and the majority of the time, instead of like running and talking, they see someone, oh, hello person, they stop and talk for like a minute. And are like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta go this way, oh, what are we gonna do? And it's just like, they just waste time. It's just the dumbest thing ever. That's my dumb rant. Anyways. let's see. So they do the flare, and then Luffy confronts Crocodile again. And Crocodile's like, "What the hell? How are you still alive?" And oh, what? I wrote blood. Oh, right. Luffy uses, instead of water, Luffy finds that he can use blood, his own blood that's surrounding him, and successfully attack Crocodile. Because the water was working for a bit, but all of a sudden it didn't. So, let's see. Then we see Pell got shot while flying around the clock tower by Mr. Seven. And, Mr. Seven and Miss Father's Day are in there. And they're there to set off the bomb in this clock tower. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna set it off." And it's like real time for us, but for them it's like super slow. It's like in slow motion, and I can see
This whole part is basically a QTE event in video games.
Yes, quick time event.
Like a whole episode worth.
It's literally like 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, let's do a countdown," and they light the fuse for it, and like 10 minutes go by our time, and you're like, why is everybody just standing around? And like, Usopp is bandaged. You got Zoro carrying Nami, even though Nami can walk fine.
Well, we forgot one of the best parts before that.
What's that?
When the anime actually acknowledged Zoro's horrible GPS. Inner GPS.
Yes.
Well,
I thought
Watson walking out of his house.
No, north doesn't mean up. What?
Because he runs into a pack of Marines that yell at him, telling him, "We know you have a bad sense of direction."
Oh yeah, because the Marines are helping out too. I forgot about that. Oh, Tashigi encounters Luffy while Luffy is running into the underground where the Poneglyph is.
Poneglyph. Pony.
God damn it.
Glyph.
Poneglyph.
Pony.
I
Glyph.
can't get anything right. Okay, shut up, everyone.
Poneglyph.
I was just trying to find something that would be easier for him.
There we go. All right, so Crocodile doesn't. I wrote down Crocodile doesn't understand friendship, which is his philosophy of don't trust anyone.
The power of Nakama.
Pell gets shot. We get it. Awesome. Pell sacrifices himself as the bomb is. They're literally lighting the fuse, and it's very dramatic. They all form this it's like reverse dominoes where one person goes up, pushes another person, finds another person at a different level, pushes that person, and pushes the person again to get to the top of the clock tower really fast. And somehow Vivi is able to use her weird slashing whip, and cuts off the fuse at the last second before it can go off. Then after that, we learn that there's an actual timer going off, and just a timing thing just in case they don't set off the bomb in time, so it would go off in the tower. And so Pell takes the bomb and flies up into the air, and it explodes. So he sacrifices himself, so he's dead. And everybody's still fighting. Luffy and I think the people are still fighting. The rebels and the Alabasta guards are still fighting. And so then we get a Gumma Gumma Storm, which I forgot exactly what that does. It's not a consecutive punches. It was him rising from the bottom. I think he's continuing the punches as he's lifting him. He punches him so hard he lifts him up. And this is where where I get distracted. This is where we get the Dvorak. Okay, this song is amazing. It's It's called The New World, and I actually had to play it in college, which is really cool. If you've ever played any of the Civilization games, like Civilization 4 has it. I don't know if any of the other ones do, but this is one
Oh,
of
I
the songs
love
they
that
play.
game.
Yeah, this is one of the songs that they play, and I played Civilization, and then I went to college where in the orchestra or whatever, and then they played the song and I don't know orchestra songs, but I knew this one. I was like, oh, we get to play this one. I love this song, and they played it, and I was just like, oh my god, I get to hear this song as Luffy does his like final attack, and I honestly at this point I was just listening to the song more than watching the battle because the song is so enjoyable. Um, Especially if you play it, you're like, oh, what are the like little parts that I played? You just remember that stuff. Anyways, I'm digressing. So you got the Dvorak. Luffy wins, and then as soon as he wins, it starts raining. It starts raining. It starts raining. So either that it was like some divine being that's just like, oh yeah, you defeat the bad guy. Here's some free rain.
Basically,
Or it was Crocodile stopping the rain from happening.
basically
he
the
sucks all-
movie used was just punching crocodile through the roof hundreds of times. It's like an advanced version of his Gum Gum Storm. Or Gatling gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I was just like, but that was the movie. No, you're right. You're right. So you got Rain, and then Vivi, who's been. Oh yeah, Vivi, who's like shouting for like the people to stop. Nobody can hear him, and all of a sudden the rain comes, and now everybody can hear her, and she's saying, "Stop fighting! Stop fighting!" So that was cool. Let's see. And then Chaka comes, and he's alive. Chaka and the kid are alive. Oh, Chaka, that guy. Chaka,
The guy with the old Egyptian style hair.
Yeah, and he's like, no, Ingram has the kid. Oh, sorry, I'm confused with my writing. So Chaka's alive, and then Ingram we find out is alive too, and he's carrying the kid who saw Mr. 2 pretending to be the King Cobra, and he was the one that was just like, hey, yeah, this Baroque works. Yeah, that wasn't the king. It was a fake one. It was a trick. And let's see. And well, Crocodile's now on the ground, and the Marines are surrounding him. And Tashigi, did I say that right? Yeah, Tashigi says that Crocodile is no longer a warlord, and he's now arrested for the crimes of what he's trying to do in Alabasta. And we find how principled Tashigi is. She doesn't go after the Straw Hat Pirates. She lets them go because of what they were doing to help.
Because Luffy just saved that ass.
Yeah. And they even had like one of the Marines like yelling at her like, "Hey, all the pirates of the Straw Hat Pirates are here. We should take them in." She's like, "No, we shouldn't. They helped us. They made it so we lived. So we're not gonna arrest them, even though they could have. That would have been a dick move." Let's see. Oh, this is super important. So, it goes back to where the Marines are and stuff like that, and Smoker's there, and he's talking to someone at HQ on the radio, and they're like, "Oh, we're so glad that you, Captain Smoker, were able to defeat Crocodile." He's like, "No, I didn't defeat Crocodile. It was the Straw Hat Pirates," and they're like. They basically just ignore him, and they're like, "Nope, you will receive a medal, and it's going to be you."
And a promotion.
Yep, you'll get a promotion and medal, and it'll be great. And you're going to go to the
Because
ceremony.
I can't get good stuff.
Yeah, because they can't. The government can't admit that
Pirates saved them.
pirates saved them, and Crocodile eluded them and was working against them without their knowledge. They can't admit that. Otherwise, it makes them look weak, pretty much. And so they lie, and so Captain Smoker's not thrilled with this, of course. So, anyways, then after that, there's a dinner. Everybody's eating food because Luffy was promised all the food in the world, and we see Ingram's wife, who looks exactly like Ingram, but is a
Just
woman.
with boobs.
Yeah, and even has a deep voice. But she is the head server at the castle, and so she takes on Luffy's challenge of serve. He's like, serve me all the food, and she's like, challenge accepted. And so she keeps like making food, dish after dish after dish, of all this stuff, and then they all take a bath. They all get in the bath, and we find out that the King Cobra is kind of a pervert. He's like, oh yeah, the wall's over there, the girls are over there, and Nami does. What did I write down? Did I write it? I didn't. She does a special attack. I can't remember what it's called, but she does this. I'm not saying it, but she does this. Everybody gets a nosebleed, and we find out that Hina is another Marine, and she's talking to like Captain Smoker, and she's like, "Oh, it sounds like you were happy that Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates got away." He's like, "Nope, I'm not happy." She was like calling him out, basically. And she's another captain of the Marines, and she'll play a part in just like 2 seconds here. But Bon, aka Mr. 2, you find out that he took Luffy's ship, and it's in the Sandora River, and he's like, "Hey, we're friends, aren't we?" Even though they were just like on the opposite sides, but you know, they became friends beforehand. So we've learned that Vivi has an escape plan. She plans to leave Alabastia to go with the Straw Hat Pirates, and Ingram finds something fishy, but he doesn't figure it out. And Vivi has a speech that she has to do at like noon or something like that, or no, 8 o'clock. I think it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and they delayed it for like 2 hours. But we find out it takes like 4 hours to get to the east side of the island where they're gonna pick up, she'll be picked up. So it's all like it's all a scheme that's happening. We also find out that the hypnotist who was in Captain Kuro's crew is now a Marine.
Django,
that's his name. He's a Marine now, and which is crazy. So we also learned that Bonner, Mr. 2, got their ship, and he wasn't there to steal it. He was there along with other Baroque Works members. They were trying to escape, and if they needed his ship to help them escape, basically. So he gets the ship for them. They're like, "Yay, you got our ship, cool!" And find out he wasn't doing it for, as a friend. He was doing it so he could escape himself with the island surrounded by Marine ships. So they all get on the ship. I think. Does Nami make a deal with him or something like that? It's just like, "Oh, you owe us for this and this." I can't remember. It sounds like she would, but anyways, they're thankful that their ship wasn't taken, and so they're able to sail. And as they're sailing away, Bon acts as decoy because they're surrounded on all sides by these ships, and they dress up like the Straw Hat Pirates, and they pretend like they're getting away. So all the ships go after Mr. 2's ship, and they look at that, they're all fake, and they helped Luffy escape, and Luffy and the Going Merry barely escaped themselves. They only have a 3-minute head start, basically, and they get to the rally point, and they get to the speech that Vivi does, and Vivi's actually doing the speech from the eastern part of the island, and so it makes it look like, oh, Vivi's gonna join them after doing the speech, and Ingram's wife is pretending to be Vivi on stage in Alabarna, and you're like, oh, that was the whole plan. It was a trick so she could do the speech and run away, but at the last second, she decides to stay in Alabasta and just waves at them, and they all hold up their arms with the X's on them because they can't say anything out loud, otherwise the Marines would hear them, that they're friends, that Princess Vivi is friends with pirates. So they all hold up their arms with the X as a sign of friendship, and everybody's crying, oh my god, bye, blah blah blah. Anyways, and then we find Pell in a doctor's office, and Pell he finds his own grave, and he's like, wait a minute, this is my grave, what? Pell's not dead, oh my god, it's a miracle, but how did he survive? Anyway, so the Straw Hat Pirates...
Plot armor.
Yeah, right. So the Straw Hat Pirates are on the ship, and they find Nico Robin in the ship, and they're like, "Whoa, what the hell are you doing? Are you here for revenge? We'll fight you." And she's like, "No, I don't want to be with them anymore." And then I think this is when she says that she was going after what are they called?
The poneglyphs.
Yeah, the poneglyphs. She was going after the poneglyphs, and that she actually saved Luffy's life. She gave him the antidote to the scorpion poison with the hook. Oh, I forgot to mention that. But Crocodile's hook had poison in it, and he used it, and he was able to hit Luffy a couple times and slowly poison him, but Luffy was still able to win. Anyway, so she gave him the antidote, and she also lied about the translation to Crocodile. She had no intention of actually giving Crocodile any information about the Pluton. She has her own goals, and it's to find the Rio poneglyphs. And she said for the last 20 years she's been searching, and she's searched every one and hasn't found the answer she's looking for, and this is just the latest one. She wants to find out the quote-unquote real history of what happened. I'm not saying real history in quote oh, it's a fake history. No, the actual real history of what happened in the past, and that she's an archaeologist.
It gets a much better name later on.
Okay. And so that's the end of that season. I liked the fight between Crocodile and Luffy. That was really good. Didn't see him getting poisoned. Liked the Gumma Gumma shotgun for sure. And I liked all the mini fights in between. The one with the Mr. 4 fight, the Mr. 2 fight. What's the other one? The Mr. 1 fight. And
Double finger
fight. Those are all very good. Seeing them kind of evolve.
It was good to actually see Nami do something.
Yeah, she actually did something. It's she had the stick previously. She was able to use it, but she hasn't used it for a long time because she's been relying on others. So those are fun to watch. I like the crocodiles in the casino. Those are cool. It was just oh my god, Vivi had trouble, and it was cool to see the power levels between Vivi and Sanji, and she was just oh my god, I couldn't take them on, but Sanji took them out in 2 seconds. It was just wow, yeah. And Vivi's not weak, and she was number with number 9 in the organization, and so that was a cool power difference thing. Oh, and them teaming up with Smoker, or getting captured by Smoker too. I think that was in the earlier part of the season, but that was cool to see them these enemies working together, and Luffy saving Smoker's life, and then in return Smoker being on the side of Luffy because he wants the best outcome for the place.
And he also kind of saved his own butt by telling her to make her own decision.
Yeah, and he's like, "What? No," he said, "I'll take all responsibility, no matter what you do." So, but that was a good decision that he made. He's like, use your conscience, you make your own decision, and do the right thing, kind of thing, for justice, for actual real justice, and that's what Tashigi did. I always think of the Tuskegee Airmen when I say that. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. And so that was cool. Cool to see the characters grow. Cool to see them in different outfits. The camel was great. Camel was really cool. He's kind of.
Although he was in the desert and not on the ocean.
Yeah, that. Why didn't they bring them with them? And he. Oh yeah, they made him an honorary duck. So they had the ducks, and then Ingram being alive. That was surprising. That got me. What else happened? What else happened in this thing?
We met Ace.
Usopp. Oh yeah, Ace. Ace was cool. It's like, whoa, what is the mystery of Ace? Usopp being brave. That was cool to see.
We also
and like, oh, the odds are against me. Oh, I'm gonna attack you anyways.
Heard of a lot of characters that will come up later. Whitebeard, Blackbeard.
It's true. But I don't know that. And you don't know that either. Because you obviously, nobody has seen One Piece. Obviously. You're just going to watch us suffer.
To be honest...
This is me suffering. Unsubscribe so we can review something else.
To be honest...
No. Keep subscribing.
Oda...
Make them suffer.
These guys are wax. Go ahead.
He's the one suffering, not me. I just want to point that out. That was my decision.
I thought it was a joke.
And, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because you went on a rant.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, just make Mike suffer.
What you liked in it. Koza was cool.
One of the things with Oda's work, you don't get a character just randomly a name thrown out unless if they're gonna be part of the story later on.
Oh, so they all mean something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, who's that? Who's white? We got Whitebeard, Blackbeard, and we got Ash coming
Ace.
up. I keep saying Ace.
No, you keep saying
No,
Ash.
I sing Ash. Yeah. Am I cursed? I cannot say 3-letter names that start with A.
What do you wanna watch Pokemon next? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No. No, don't give them ideas.
Maybe after Yu-Gi-Oh.
I will strangle them all with my non-existent
But to be honest,
thing.
Pokemon would be a lot easier because the seasons are a little shorter than the series. I think are shorter than Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
But
I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I know Yu-Gi-Oh. There's some episodes that are
the notes will be so
great.
much easier in Yu-Gi-Oh, at least for your part.
Yeah.
Because like I've told you, Yu-Gi-Oh, the story is usually told within the duels.
Joey, you gotta save your sister.
We always
she's
can
blind.
use some inappropriate Joey Wheeler in our life.
She's blind. Yugi, you're worthless. Joey.
Mike, do you have anything to add? Lose a Mike?
I think he's gone. I think he's dead. Hear that, kids?
Yeah.
He's dead.
He just left out of nowhere.
He probably dropped out. He probably
Oh.
didn't know he dropped out.
He said, I guess it's time to duel.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh, we got 3 people watching. Whoa, all 3 people. Well, you missed all the review.
Oh, one of them's you,
And if
one of
you
them's
wanna
him.
make-
And
Please
then
unlike and unsubscribe so we don't have to do One Piece anymore.
But,
It's time to duel.
Please. Please, for the love of God. Unsubscribe. Get under 10K. No.
Mike, did you have anything you wanted to add about your opinions of the season?
I said it's time to duel.
That's what you got out of this? I mean, Luffy and Crocodile had a duel. No cards were involved, but they dueled. You know what I'm saying? Zoro and Mr. One had a duel. No cards were involved. Nami and Miss Doublefinger had a duel. No cards were involved. And then we had a 2-on-2 battle with Usopp and Chopper versus Number 4 and Miss Merry Christmas. Boom. How did I get those names? I don't
And
know.
Lasso.
What?
And the dog.
Oh, it was a 3-on-2 battle. Ooh. Oh, no. They had the camel. It was a 3-on-3 battle. The camel was there. But let's just say the MVP of this season definitely was the camel. Got to
be a duck.
Got to be a simp for the chicks. Got to observe amazing duels, and then became an honorary duck. Boom, boom. Life is good. Oh, those people left. Fuckers.
That was our review. We're gonna skip